Yes. So this move, bishop s3, is not good. So he plays rook d8. And now technically very nice. Rook d3. Not rook d2 like in previous example, but rook d3. Why? Because protecting bishop c3, making two jobs. Protecting bishop c3 against bishop a3 and preparing rook d1. You see this, rook d1, rook d7, everything is protected. White plays rook d2, queen b5 and queen d1. You see, it's typical. We call this setup of white, we call Alekhine gun, well champion gun, because queen is hiding behind, but increasing pressure. And maybe preparing someday e4 later, not now. So white has 4 attacks, black has 4 defenses, as in previous game. Similar position, but additionally bishops on the board, yes? So b6 play. And what white plan can be here? White cannot play e4. If e4, it is simply pawn takes, yes? Everything is protected, yes? Rook d7, rook d7, nothing, yeah? Everything protected. So, g3. What is white plan? White plan is to attack, making weakness on the other side. But here is much more complicated than in the classical game, because additionally one bishop is on the board, yes? Additionally. And this bishop is a bit, let's say, important. So white, look, what white plays? Bishop f8, bishop g2. Bishop e7. Black has no move, no active plan. We're just moving there and here, and queen h5. You see? Queen came to h5, pin on the 5th rank, white prepares e4. You see? Aha, you see threats. Black plays a6. Protecting queen, then e4 does not work. You see, e4, if e4, simply pawn takes. Yes? And rook d7, queen b5, rook d7, everything is protected. Yes? Everything is protected. So white has to do something different. Yes? What is it? White doesn't go back. Just a sec. White doesn't go back. Yes. Bishop g2. Yes. Queen h5, a6. White has to make weakness on the king side. How? White plays h3. Queen c6, moves king, and starts to play f4. You see? Started attack, f5 threat. Black plays f6. White plays queen d1, queen c6, and white plays g4. Black tries to stop this. And now white played very typical Karpov prophylactic. No checks on the diagonal, go back. Black plays a5, and now f5. And bishop comes here. And what he achieved with this f4, f5, he made rook d7 not sufficiently protected. You see, now there are 2 protections, yes? But white can have 3 attacks on d7. And how white played? White plays e4 now, you see? Now bishop is not protecting rook. If pawn takes on e4, then white simply wins rook d7, you see? You see what was main idea? That bishop was moved from defensive position when it was protecting pawn d5 and rook d7. With this flank attack, bishop was, let's say, eliminated from defense of d7. G7, pawn takes, queen c7. He still dreams to make blockade. Bishop d6, rook e7, and blockade. So white must be quite fast. White might have some event, some decisive attacking improvement. So white plays rook e2. Someday maybe rook e6, typical sacrifice, and b5. Black either wants to play b4. And here it is time, as in Capablanca's game. Capablanca used to say, when there is everything positionally very well prepared, pieces are very well placed, all coordination of the pieces is great. It starts some great, simple, but very nice combination. So calculate white winning move. You have 2 minutes now. How white wins? White wins. This, I play this, he plays this. I play this, he plays this. So how white wins?
Rook take on e7.
Yes, rook takes on e7. Black takes with the rook on e7. Back.
d6.
Yes, continue. You play, he plays. What he plays after d6? He can attack either. So consider his attack. We must see what opponent is doing. If we don't see what opponent is doing, it's always very, very bad end. We must see. If I play this, he plays this. I play this, and he cannot do anything. So it's good. But if he plays something very unexpected, very unpleasant, oh guys, better not to do it. So rook e7, d6, count, everybody. d6, black. What black plays? What black plays? What black? Rook e7, d6, black attack, white attack, black attack. So calculate, it's fast. You don't have time, usually in the game. He plays this, I play this, we are like a machine. So take this, black, white. So what black plays? Black either has to attack. How black attacks? Attack, counter attack. Always attack. Look fast. Move must be attacking move. First move must be attacking move, guys. What's the move of black?
Rook take on d6.
Oh, rook takes on d6. Thank you very much. Bishop d6 and black can resign. So what is attacking move of black? Queen c4. If pawn e7 takes, then rook takes d3. You see, rook, not queen. If queen, then ed8 queen. You see, attack, defense. Now, what white attack?
Rook d4.
Okay, continue. Black, white, black. You don't say your moves. You say I play rook d4. He plays what? Don't say your move. Say I play this and he plays this then, or he resigns. Sorry, it's up to you. If you see or you don't see, rook d4, correct. What opponent plays? Calculation is the most important our element in chess. The great Tigran Petrosyan used to say, plans are great thing, but Game is decided when it is a moment. I play this, he plays this, I play this, and he plays this. And who is better doing like that? That guy wins the game. So at the end decides calculation. So calculate rook before. He plays this, I play this. You must calculate everything. Huh? Rook d4 is winning or not? Or not? What black plays after rook d4? Why everybody is silent? Say something. Is it so difficult? He attacks with defense. Huh? How black defense? Where is defense? Defense is queen e2. If now pawn takes on e7, what follows? Queen d1, you see, and rook d1, and rook jumps out of attack, and black wins. You see? What a trick. See what a trick. So calculation was wrong or not? Or calculation was correct of Karpov? What Karpov invented here? What did he invented here? How he destroyed like attacks on d3? How he destroyed this attack on d3? Karpov is great. And how he destroyed it?
P3.
What?
P3.
B3, you see, so simple move. Of what is the move? B3. What black can play? Queen cannot go anywhere, pawn e7, so he has to take on b3. Queen takes, bishop. Now bishop is not protecting e8 square. And white plays simply pawn takes e7. And rook d3, queen. You see, simple like that. And you see, at the end of every super game, it is calculation. Because everything is decided in this moment with the calculation. Bam, 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 and b3. Finish so fast. And he calculated, believe me, in 1 minute, everything so fast. So we must try to see it. Is it, when we see it, can we say, is it complicated or it is simple? Huh? Is it simple or not? Or it is very difficult? It is simple. Great guys are always playing simple chess, but very strong chess, very attacking chess. So like Karpov was playing in this game. Everything was attacking and very fast. So, and now I will show you, because in chess we have structures, and structures making our life easier. Why? Because every structure has its own typical plan. What is typical? This plan was used by many players, and this plan is easy. We can see this plan in classical games. We know it plan. For example, is old game of Botvinnik. Botvinnik plays King's Indian, and suddenly opponent plays c5. In King's Indian, main line would be after e5, yes? Sorry, not e6, e5, yes? It would be King's Indian structure, but he plays c5. Okay, white could play d5 now with this famous Benoni structure, yes, but white plays castle, pawn takes d4, pawn d4. And what structure we have now? We have now so-called Maroczy structure. Maroczy knight e5, b3, bishop d7. Telling honestly, is f3 possible? And then, take. What is it? Look what the tactic is. Attacking e3, and if knight d5, knight takes, knight, oof, everything is hanging. Boom, 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 boom. Incredible. Look, everything is hanging. So it's not interesting, yes? So, but winning plays for this reason bishop b2. Knight c6. And here it starts very typical classical plan. Its plan is very easy, but every plan, this classical plan, must be explained and must be understood with the words, yes? So, main idea of move now, okay, white can play knight e2, queen d2, rook d1, slow plan. It is possible, but it is useless. White plays knight d5. What is the main idea? So knight d5, e d5, knight d4, bishop d4. So you see what happened? Structure changed. Now white has pawn on d5, and automatically where is weakness? Weakness is on e7. So white prepares rook e1, rook e4, exchange of the bishops, rook comes to e1, another one, and attack on e7. Maybe additionally h4, h5, yes? You see? This plan is very simple. It's used in these structures like Maroczy, like King's Indian, very simple structure. Knight comes to d5, opens e-file, and then starts to hit. Look how it's going on. b5. Black tries counterplay. Take, check. Take. Pawn take. Rook c1. Rook e1. Queen d7. Of course, now rook e4 is quite strong, in my opinion. Rook e4, rook e1, h4, one possible plan. But he sees that bishop is a bit problematic, and he plays a4, but winning. Now rook e3 first, f5, a4, bishop a6, rook e1, rook f7, and b4. Of course, queen a4 is useless, because now after rook takes, there are very big problems on the 7th rank, and black cannot make check. You see, all squares around king, d1 and a1 are controlled by the strong white. You see, what is the power of centralized queen? Yes, if queen is in the center, it is fantastic power, very strong piece which controls everything around. So he plays bishop b7, b5, a6, and now b6, and now he plays a5, simply like that. But this structure usually is terribly strong, because first of all it's very far past pawn, and second, there is weakness of c7 square, you see, which can be used by white. Rook c5, rook c3, rook takes, queen takes, rook f8, queen e3, rook e8. Okay, here very strong is, for example, h4 to make second weakness. h5, h6, and rook c7, yes, and winning like this. Winning a piece, yes. Okay, but he plays rook c1. Rook here, take and take. And here he calculated a very simple winning transposition into the bishop endgame. You see? Okay, queen c3 was possible either, very good, and queen c6, probably easily winning. Queen c3, nobody can say anything. But maybe bishop b7, no, queen c7. Is it winning? Bishop cannot come to attack very well, yeah? So he plays simpler. He plays queen e6 check. Queen has to e6. If king g7, queen d7, b7 promotes. Yes, take, b7 threat. Take, and black can simply resign. He played queen d5 and simply a6, king c6, and simply king comes and wins the game. You see how simple. But now I want to show you how this typical plans is used by many top players. One game, young players which studied this plan. Look, young games, young players there are Bakro and Giri, Anish Giri and Etienne Bakro. Different opponent, yes, opening, yes. E4, C5, bishop B5 check, you see. Classical now, variation is becoming very popular. Even Magnus Carlsen is playing this line, so it is extremely popular and quite successful opening, because why don't go into main lines of Najdorf, which can be considered, it's necessary to know a lot. Here is positional variation. White can think, white can play easily, yes, C4. It's all great idea, but by a international grandmaster Oleg Romanishin, yes, knight f6, g6, d4, take, and take, yes. So plan is the same. Look, b3, knight c6, bishop b2. We have the same practically, a6. And look, knight takes. If now bc6, then even rook e1, threatening e5 and c5, destroying, you see, and making weaknesses. And now pawn c5, pawn c6, everything is weak. White will get pawn back and will win game easily. And knight d5, you see, knight takes, pawn takes, the same plan as Botvinnik, the same, but okay, position is a bit, very little difference, yes. He plays this, bishop g7, king g7, rook e1, and rook e8, queen d2. Yeah, he plays, his plan is rook e4 and maybe rook h4 and mate, you see? Rook e4, rook a1, very simple, very easy play. If you know typical plan, your life is very easy. In every structure, in every opening, we have structures, special structures, and we have to know classics, what classics are doing in this structure, classical plans. Then, if we know classical plan, our life is much easier. More typical plans we know, we are stronger player. We are much better player because we conduct plans better, we play faster, and we know what to do, because our main problem is that in some position we say, what to do? I don't know what to do. What can be planned? Sometimes it's so difficult that we can say, what is our plan? But if we know very well this typical structure, then our plan is very easy. So he plays b5 now. Rook c1, queen h7. Threat was taken on c5, on b5 and rook c7. Yes, so this. Now very strong move b4 he played. Why strong? Because threat is to play c5 and to make passed pawn. You see what a plan, what a foxy plan was invented by Bakro. He wants to use c pawn, because if rook c8, then he plays c5, pawn takes, and rook c5 is not possible because of chess is a game of double attack. He used to teach us great David Bronstein. Chess is and you see, and we use these tactics, why? To get some strategical gains, to get very strong passed pawn. If white will place pawn to c6, then it will be, black pieces will be very cramped, and white will find weakness on the other side and will mate. Yes, for example, if black waits, for example, something like this, then c6, black waits, then for example check, king g8, and simply h4, start running. Black waits, what black can do? Something like a5, a3, rook a8, then even this, threat h6, pawn takes, now rook comes to c3, you see? And now it is mating attack, you see? On one side, pieces are cramped and are stopping passed pawn. On the other side, we create second weakness. Always rule of the second weakness, guys. When we have plan, okay, if opponent plays badly and he cannot protect his weakness, it is his problem. He will lose the game earlier, yes. But if opponents knows a bit better, he tries to protect it, then we must create second weakness always. And this second weakness is decisive. Okay, black doesn't want. But then there is problem with C file. Threat is queen c3, not possible rook c8 because of the same chess is a game of double attack, especially with check. Yes. So he played h5. Now queen c3, you see king g8 and rook c7. You see what helped white? White controls now c file and attacks at the end e7 square. Yes, because e7 is weakness. So queen b6. But he doesn't want to take it immediately. It's possible, but he plays a4, rook b8, and he plays rook e4. He has enough time. f6. But now g4. What a move. He wants to create, you see, e7 is not enough for him to win because before is weakness easily, yes? And he wants now to create attack against opponent's king, yes? If pawn g4, then rook takes g4, and then there is mating attack, yes? But rook is double function, you see? Rook attacks g7, g6, and rook protects b4, you see? Two functions, and creates a lot of mating threats. So after g4 was played rook b7. And here followed very nice combination. Who sees this combination? Combination of white. Guys, who sees the combination? White wins. Which move? Combinational attack. White is mating. How white is mating? And we have very good game, very good improvement. At the end is Capablanca's rule. Combination. Simple combination. Mating combination. Which combination is here?
So, queen leg.
Queen takes f6.
Yeah, correct. Queen
Well,
f6.
yes.
F6, it is mate. You see, beautiful mate, yes, with both rooks. So if now rook takes c7, then queen takes check, king comes to h8, and here queen takes e8, yes, and then mating attack with probably with rook, yes, and then rook g6 and mate, and queen g8 mate, or queen f7, anything like this. So you see? So now let's once more repeat. Plan is attack on the weakness. If you don't see weakness, you don't have plan. And playing without plan is the worst thing possible. It's number one. Second, to make plan to attack weakness, you must bring much more power, as all power which is possible. Yes. Okay. On the way, you try to stop opponents. Something, some defensive improvements, as we saw in the game, practical, yes? We are preventing. And if opponent has the same quantity of defense as we have attacks, we have to find and to create second weakness. If we see second weakness, then we are winning the game. If we don't see second weakness, it's our problem. We cannot win. If we see, we win. And second weakness is important because attacking pieces are much more mobile than defensive. Understand? Yes? And in structures, our life is easier because in the openings we have structures and we have typical plans. And we must study these typical plans from the games of the classics in our openings. In every our opening, we must know what is our plan, what we want to do. And no, but it's not enough. We must know what opponent's plan is. And if we know both plans, then we can play, we can improve our position, and we can stop, in many cases, what opponents wants. We can stop opponent's plans. Understand? But it's just was starting training on the subject. There are much more material on the planning, because planning and calculation are the most important things in chess. So I will send you all these games which we saw today. And Alex will send you some other exercises. So good luck, and till to the next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Adrian. Bye bye.
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 Bye, guys. Bye bye.